Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Super pumped to have you here. So this has been a highly requested video and a video that I probably should have put out a lot earlier, but these are tips so you do not get stuck on skateboarding tricks. So as you know, skateboarding is extremely difficult. If you're a beginner, it's really hard and it's easy to get stuck on some tricks and feel like you're not progressing. This happens to intermediate skaters too. Professional skateboarders, they pretty much know the learning process and can figure it out, but these are some tips to help you land tricks, especially when you're stuck on them. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Before that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video if you enjoy this content. So let's get right into number one. So tip number one is going to seem extremely obvious, and that's because it is, but it's extremely helpful. And that is watching YouTube tutorials, or pretty much any online tutorial. These tutorials are there to help you, and if you're scared about going to a skate park and asking for help, these are a great alternative, even though you'd be surprised. A lot of people at skate parks will be happy to teach you, but you can see exactly where your feet setup need to be by somebody who's done the trick a lot of times and have mastered it. And this is really helpful, and it's also great for learning more technical tricks, like how to 50-50 on boxes or how to board slide. Same type of thing, just you need a little bit more commitment, but we have this at our disposal. The internet is everywhere. Might as well look up how to do a tutorial if you are stuck on a trick. Now let's get into number two. So tip number two, and this is one that I was skeptical about at first, but it's helped me progress a lot, and this is visualize yourself landing the trick. So if this is for learning how to do a kickflip, just visualize yourself popping, flicking, jumping, and seeing that board rotate under you and land on it. You got to remember, skateboarding is mental. A huge part of it is mental. And once you're not afraid of landing something, you definitely can. And that's the biggest thing that people have a problem with and why they say skateboarding is so mental. It's because you are more than capable of doing a lot of tricks. It's just you're afraid to actually land on the board. So visualize yourself doing your trick, and it's going to build up a little bit of confidence. This is also great for ollieing down stairs, especially it's helped me with, but also doing 50-50 grinds. When I was learning 50-50 front shoves out, just visualizing myself doing it, it helped a lot. And it might seem like it's not that big of a deal, but definitely when you're standing about to do the trick, just picture yourself landing the trick. Let's get on to tip number three. So tip number three is something that should happen a lot more, but it never really does. And normally it leads to skateboards being thrown and things breaking. And that is take a break when you're frustrated and you're trying to land a trick. There's nothing wrong with stepping back and taking a few minutes or doing something else that you're more comfortable with doing. So if you've been battling a trick for a very long time and it's not working and you think that you're getting further away from landing it, take a step back. Don't keep at it, because you're just going to get more angry, more frustrated, and end up throwing your board. And if you've seen the video on how to make your skateboard last longer, you should definitely check that one out. But this is a huge factor. Don't get frustrated with this. Just if things aren't going your way, take a step back. You're going to come back to it later, and that muscle memory is going to have built up, and you're going to find it a little bit more easy, especially if you're really tense and you're really getting upset, your blood's boiling. You're not going to land a trick, or if you do, you're probably not going to be satisfied with it anyway. So if you're struggling on a trick, take a step back, work on something else, and come back to it. Skateboarding is not a race. All right, so let's imagine that you've watched all these tutorials, you've been practicing, you've been visualizing yourself doing the trick, and you've been taking breaks, and you still can't land this trick you want to do. Tip number four is ask for help on social media or at your local skate shop or anybody that knows skating. Go up to them and swallow your pride if that's what you're nervous about, or if you're working on something at home and you don't want to go to the skate park because you feel like you're not ready yet. Go there and ask the people around for help. You're going to learn a lot more smaller tips for that particular trick, or even DM me on Instagram. I'll have my Instagram down below in the bio, but I always answer my requests when people ask me on helps for tricks. So definitely take advantage of your local skate shop. There's people that are there to help you learn how to skate. The skate park is going to be filled with skaters who are also working on their stuff. So they've been there too. They know what it's like and they can relate to that. And me, I'm just here to help you guys. So definitely take advantage of this. Ask other people for more tips on the trick. So tip number 5 is a mental one, and you've probably heard this so many times, especially if you're stuck on a trick, and that is commit. And I know this is way easier said than done. And if you've been skateboarding, you've heard this before. Committing. So we're gonna use kickflips as an example. If you've got your flick down on your kickflips, you've been doing them nonstop, you just haven't been putting your foot on it, it's about time you finally commit. I know it's gonna be scary at first, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Your back foot, your front foot, whatever foot you're catching it with, the opposite one is gonna wanna go anywhere else but on that board, but you will see very shortly that it does work once you commit. And if you fall, you fall, and you'll realize that it's not that bad. You'll get up and you'll probably land it next try. And sometimes, honestly, it is actually pretty good taking that fall on skateboarding to realize that it's really not that bad. And I know, you're probably rolling your eyes. Commit. I've been trying to commit. Trust the process, full send, and put both your feet on that board for that kickflip. And if it's for a board slide, same thing. Ollie up onto that rail. Do not take one of your feet off. For 50-50s, same exact thing. If you're getting up there, just commit on it. You'll realize that falling is not that bad. And like I said, sometimes actually that fall is what really helps you and makes you understand that this is definitely doable. So for the last tip, you've seen the tutorials, you've got your feet in the right spot, you've asked people for help, and you've been trying really hard to commit. What's left to do? Just practice skating. It's simple as that. Ride your board more, skate around. And what happened with me was I could not land rolling kick flips for my life. I could not do them at all. So I started working on heel flips, and I ended up getting heel flips down really well. I was able to do rolling heel flips, and I even heel flipped off of a couple things before I even did my first rolling kick flip. And then I went back to kick flips, and I wasn't afraid anymore. And it's just because I got more board control from skating more. So if you're stuck on a trick, skate more and practice. The more time you spend on your skateboard, the better. So well, obviously I guess people aren't in school right now, but if you have to run to the store, skate to the store. If you're going to your friend's house, skate to your friend's house. Just spend as much time on a skateboard as you can, because all that time will equate to something. You will progress in skateboarding. And tip number 7, I think, maybe tip number 7, don't quit. Never quit skateboarding, because pretty soon you're gonna realize that skateboarding is absolutely amazing. All your friends are in skateboarding. Skateboarding has kind of ruined your life, and all you do is skateboard. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed this list. If you're stuck on a trick, let me know what that trick is down below in the comments. I'll definitely try to respond to you guys and help you land some of those tricks. And if you haven't already, check out my Instagram. I answer all my DMs on there if you're stuck on a trick. And leave a like on this video if you like these tip lists. Anyways, guys, stay safe out there, keep skating, and I will see you in the next one.